what is the structure of the training going to be? Very much focused on the brain. What is I call it the deep brain, but it's the subconscious. What is the relationship between your conscious brain and your subconscious brain? What are some of the character traits about them? How do they interact with each other? Which one is the most powerful? And what does each part of the brain do? I want to start off and explain an interesting concept. You know, when we buy anything that's an advanced piece of technology, I want to say even like a dishwasher or an appliance or a motor vehicle or a cell phone or a toy, a gadget you've got in your house, doesn't matter really what you buy these days, everything comes with a user manual. It comes with an explanation on how to use this piece of technology. If there's a red light blinking, it will tell you if red light blinks 3 times, then do this. If blue light blinks, then do this. There's a step-by-step instruction on how to use it and what to do if something goes wrong. However, the most complex piece of machinery, the most complex computer is mankind. It's the human being. And I don't know about you guys, but I've never met anyone that was born with a user manual. We really do our best in this world. We learn as we go. We make mistakes. We bump our heads. We redo things. We change. We try and learn from others. And as humans, we're really just trying to do our best. But if we understand certain principles about who we are and how we function, it's not a complete user manual, but it will improve your own understanding about who you are. Why do you do certain things? Because we make decisions and we act differently than our brain very often tells us to. So let's just get real with each other here. So intellectually and logically, we're quite smart. I mean, if you think about, we've put a man on the moon, if you think about what we as humans have accomplished, the technology, we've got trains that can travel the speed of sound. We've got, we walk around with computers in our pockets that are really complex, we call them cell phones. We can now talk to anybody around the world live on video. I mean, we've really done kind of good as humans, right? Well, maybe we still have wars, we still have poverty, we still have corruption, we're still wiping out rainforests. So there are still some decisions that we're not really good at on a bigger scale. But on an individual scale, this is also true. So let's test this quickly. See, intellectually, we all know that we should be taking care of our health, right? Everybody here, you know, you should be taking, in other words, we know we should be eating healthy stuff. Everyone knows you should be eating healthy food? All right. Who here has ever eaten KFC? Or, you see, intellectually, come on now, intellectually, we know what we should be eating, but there are times we put stuff in our systems, I'm just using KFC as an example, that we know is not really that healthy. So we do things that is contrary to what we know. Let's be real. Who's been in a relationship for a while with someone you love, and at one stage in that relationship, you actually had a stupid argument and you knew you were wrong in the middle of the argument, but you just continued for another couple of minutes to prove your bloody point. Anybody else? Come on, let's be honest. Yes. Come on, let's be real. All right. Let's look at something else in our human existence. Who knows how to manage their money? You know you should save your money. You know you should spend your money wisely. And you've gone into a shopping center one day to buy bread and milk, and you came out with a trolley full of stuff you didn't really need, and you got home and you realized there's no bread and milk in the trolley. You just bought a whole lot of other stuff that was just looked lekker and fun and everything else. Who's ever done that? Let's see a hand. Let's be honest. Yep. All right. So what are we learning from this? Well, it's quite simple. There are different parts of the brain that makes decisions. There's a part of the brain, the logic part, the intellectual part, the conscious brain that makes decisions. But there's a second part of the brain that also makes decisions. It's called the subconscious part. There is a third part, the unconscious, But the unconscious really only just is responsible to keep your heart beating, keep your blood moving through your body, basic bodily functions. That's what the unconscious is responsible for. But the conscious brain is the logic one. That's the one that most Westerners really rely upon and we try and develop. As a young child, that's the one you use to learn to write. That's the part of the brain that you learn to study when you go to university. That's the part of the brain we try and develop as much as possible. But let's just put things into context here quickly. The first thing we need to understand is if we look at the size of your brain, the average human's brain is about the size of two fists. So put two fists together quickly for a moment. That's roughly the size of this gray matter that's on the inside of your skull. Your gray matter is roughly the size of your two fists, right? That's the part of your skull. How much of that do you think is your conscious brain? That part of the brain that you use to focus, that part of the brain that your parents told you, think. How big a part of your brain of that two fists do you think that part of your brain is? Well, let me give you the answer very quickly. It's small enough to fit onto a teaspoon. Not even a full teaspoon. It is roughly the size of the tip of my pinky. That's the part. Now, here's the first lesson I want you guys to really grasp. That's the part of the brain most of us try and develop. That's the part of the brain most of us put our reliance upon to make good decisions. That's the part of the brain that decided to take up the gym contract. That's the part of the brain that got you to go to the gym day one. Well, firstly, you went to Sportsman's Warehouse and bought the proper outfit to match going to the gym. Then you ended up at the gym for a day and your conscious brain said you need to go back to the gym tomorrow, and you went to the gym and you went for 6 days loving it. That's the part of the brain that on day 7, you decided, well, even when God made the world, he rested on day 7, I'm going to rest today. And 3 months later, you notice that you haven't been to the gym and the debit order is still going off. Oh, so which part of the brain made the contrary decision not to go back to the gym? Wasn't the conscious brain, because the conscious brain kept saying, you need to go, you need to go. You're a bad person if you don't. Where's your discipline? Your parents taught you discipline. You are disciplined. You can do this. You have to do this. Come on, get ahead there and do this. The part of the brain that's by far stronger and more powerful and makes more decisions. In fact, it makes 95% at minimum of all your life decisions is your subconscious mind. The conscious mind is almost like a programmer that instructs the subconscious, but the subconscious brain actually makes the bulk of your life decisions. People that are in conflict with themselves, that have got anxiety about certain behaviors, that are confused about things that they do, try to make choices and decisions on a conscious level. The moment you realize that your true decisions lies on a different platform, that decisions are made slightly different, real big life decisions, the bulk of your decisions, then your life can start to change. Then you can start taking control because you can reteach your subconscious to make different types of decisions. It is yours after all. You are in control of it. But you need to understand that there are two different parts of the brain. And it's almost as if in some cases, we feel that they are a little bit even in conflict with each other. The one part of your brain says, I'm going to start my business. The other part of the brain says, let's go watch YouTube. The one part of the brain says, I need to get fit. The other part of the brain says, let's go sit on the couch. The one part of the brain says, you need to go to work. The other part of the brain says, I want to play sick today. I want to use my sick leave. I want to phone in and act as if I can't. I'm so sick today. I can't come to work. I'm a laryngitis. Listen to my voice. Yeah. One part of the brain knows I need to spend money wisely. The other one buys a car I can't afford to impress people I don't even know. We've got these conflicts happening inside of our brain. So how does that work, and where does it come from, and why does it function, and how do we understand it so we can take control of it?
Visit actionfactory.co.za to find out more. Change your mind. Change your mind.